Stream is live.
Yeah, it is.
That's what Drake said. I'm smooth like Keith Sweat. My son said, "Who's Keith Sweat?"
That's
Hey,
automatic.
OSPers,
That's
what's going on? We know New Year's is the time for new you. Yeah, right. New you. You make the commitment to the gym. You make the commitment to eating right. And God forbid, dry January. But how many of you really stick with any of that? I know I'm sticking with dry January. In fact, I'm going into February, man. I got to clean this up.
Does dry gin count as dry January?
Dry gin, maybe. As long as you don't drink it. Hey, by the way, we're going to talk some football tonight. We're going to talk some playoffs, some bowl games. Do you remember trivia? Young's going to hit us with a new little piece of what we have going on called Do You Remember? Rasheen's going to come at us with one of his inquisical questions. Remember them questions you used to ask us? Yeah, you said you wanted to bring it every day. So we're going to do that. So let's do this, man. Let's get after this. I got Coach Noob here with his throwback Redskins hat. Hail to the Redskins, HTTR. Rasheen the Dream is with us tonight, as always, giving you a shout out. And what do you got on, a DC Defenders hat, Young? DC is with a little DC Defenders hat. Yeah,
DC Grays.
I think I like that hat. Hey, how was your holiday cheer, guys? When you guys take down the decorations, are you happy or sad when that happens?
Sad. I'm still trying to hear Christmas music on 93.5 and 97.1, and they both let me down today.
Yeah, I just got done taking down the tree. It was depressing.
Got you, Sis.
Yeah, it's depressing because I could barely get it out the door, and them damn needles are everywhere. That's what I was sad about, and I'm still stepping on the things.
You'll be stepping on them till March.
And you got to teach tomorrow.
All over the house.
You got to teach tomorrow.
Yeah. Hey, we took down everything, put everything away except for the tree. And I said, we're not taking that down till Sunday because, the tree wise men show up and we want to make sure we follow that little right there.
Yeah.
So, that's what's going down. I'm glad the house looks so cleaned up after we take it down because we go right from fall decorations to Halloween, a little bit of Thanksgiving, Christmas, like for months. And then it looks all cleaned up once you take and put that stuff all away. And the wife, she got into it this time. She took and threw out all this crap we didn't need anymore. We don't even use. And I was like, hell yeah.
Now you can just let the hockey gear lay all over the house.
Hey, some spontaneous reactions from you guys. The beating that Georgia gave FSU. Rasheen, I was cracking up when you said FSU wants to go to the SEC. But would this have happened if FSU guys wouldn't have opted out, or is the SEC too much for them?
It probably wouldn't have been 63-3. It might have been 53-3. Listen, man, Florida State, it's just about money, man. That's all it's about. That's it. Because, think about it. They're never going to beat Georgia or Bama. Maybe they probably won't beat LSU. You could beat Mississippi State. You could beat Vanderbilt.
They beat LSU 2 years ago.
That was 2 years ago.
To open the season. I'm just saying, I'm going to argue against it, but go ahead. I'll let you finish.
Go ahead. Let me bring up the whole conference. They could probably beat Vanderbilt, South Carolina, Mississippi State. They're going to probably go back and forth with Texas A&M. You're not beating Georgia. You're not beating Alabama.
How about Florida?
You probably go back and forth with Florida.
Arkansas.
Go ahead. Okay. Back and forth with Arkansas.
All right. I'm just going to say that they were missing very key players. I think it would have been a decent game with those guys. Without those guys, they don't. So listen, here's the difference. A school like Alabama, they lose the starting left tackle, and they have another 5-star that steps right in.
Two.
Florida State's not at that level yet with recruiting. Now they have a good starting cast, but once you get behind that, they don't have the same depth that a Georgia and Alabama has. Alabama, sometimes they lose one guy, the next guy in's even better. Like, those teams are loaded. So I think it would have been a decent game. I think Florida State can hang with the SEC schools. I'm not saying they'd win all those, but they wouldn't lose as much as you're saying. They're not going to go 6-4 in the SEC or 6-5.
Yeah, like you said, it would have been a decent game. I said 53-3. I gave
No doubt about it. I think it's the conference is stacked. I saw an interesting stat though that both teams had 27 guys out for different reasons.
Both teams.
So the 9 guys from Florida State opted out. 2 were hurt, and 16 were in the transfer portal. Now I don't know what where all those guys play. I know where they played, but I don't know what they would have contributed. And 27 though, that is extremely significant. Georgia had 20 guys in the portal.
So they're discussing, and I bet there's not many of those 20 guys are starters, but they're discussing possibly moving it back, the whole transfer process until after the bowls, with the transfer portal. Like you enter the portal the day after the last bowl ends, which you'd have to figure out how to make accommodations for that academically, because academics start next week for some of these schools.
Yeah.
Well, I don't understand the advantage of portaling before the bowl games.
Because of the academic piece, and because you're trying to, it's like speed dating. I mean, you're going to this school, this school, this school, this school. You're stacking them on top of each other. You take a one-day visit, and you're like, oh, all right, well, I guess I'll pick that one.
Yeah.
So it would give you more time to make a decision. The way it's set up now, it gives you a little more time. It would be seriously speed dating if they move it back.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this, Mike.
Hold on.
Is it right that these guys that are going to, they know they're going to the league? Do you think it's okay? Do you think it's legit that these guys opt out of these games? Now, their school has paid them a lot of money to get a degree there, and they bring a lot of money in from playing the sport there. But at the end of the day, like I struggle with these guys, like, opting out of this. I just do. I mean, it puts them at a disadvantage in a lot of ways. They opt out. Here, Florida State, they get the snot beat out of them, 63 to whatever it was, 3. I can't even remember now. But they get the snot beat out of them. What's that do for their recruiting?
But do you opt out for fear of what happened a long time ago to Melvin Bratton? Do you opt out for that? Remember Melvin Bratton got hurt
Bad knee injury.
Yeah.
NFL career over.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I don't know if you can be mad at that.
There's
Mark.
others too. There's others also, right? Aren't there other like quarterback or something that got injured not that long ago? So I see both sides of
Didn't
it.
Chubb get dinged up in the bowl game?
I think that sounds right.
Yeah.
I see both sides. To me, if you're playing in the I don't know, the Tire Bowl out in I don't know, India or Idaho, like, is that really a big deal for your school? And honestly, if you're not playing, then it gives the guys a chance to get ready for next year. The guys that are coming in, like, that's what Maryland does. They do a great job of using their young talent and giving guys an opportunity to get on the field. So I think if you look at it in that aspect, it's not a big deal. I think for the playoffs, it's different. Like, if you're, and this is going to change next year, we're going to have actually, a lot of teams in a playoff.
Is it 12 next year?
12.
It is 12. Yep. So you'll have 12 teams, so it'll be a lot less guys that are opting out, in my opinion. I think, because you'd want to help your team win.
Shout out to Daniel Berry for joining us tonight. What's going on, Daniel? Thanks for jumping on. Hey, I struggle with this, but at what point does baseball need to be held in check? I mean, the Dodgers spent $1 billion. Listen to me, $1 billion on 2 guys. $1 billion on 2 guys. One guy's getting $700 million. The other guy's getting over $300 million. And the one guy who's getting $300 million hasn't even thrown a pitch in Major League Baseball.
Let me put this in perspective. I saw this stat, and for a decade, the Dodgers spent more money on these two players than these teams have spent in a decade. The Brewers, $912 million. Diamondbacks, $912 million. Padres, $803. A's, $761. Pirates, $738. Marlins, $722. And the Rays, $671 million. 2 guys, $1 billion, more than these 7 teams I mentioned in a decade. How are they going to compete? Hey.
We got Andrew McCutcheon, baby.
Hey, you know what else they did? You know what the Dodgers did? They deferred 68 of his $70 million. This guy's going to get paid a shit ton of money 10 years down the road. He's not getting paid during the season right now. They have all this cash right now. They have tons of money. I had a conversation with the guy today. The guy over primetime sports. And he says to me, he says, well, the guy's first year on the Dodgers, he's going to make enough money to pay his salary with jersey sales. The second year, it's going to be with ticket sales. The third year, it's going to be concession sales. This guy's going to pull these people in, especially if they're winning. That's a storied franchise, the Dodger. I get it. But at what point, you just named all those teams, at what point does baseball say, holy shit, we're out of control here? Before you know it, guys, we're going to, 5 years down the road, there's going to be, we're talking 700 million. There's going to be $1 billion player. There's going to be $1 billion player because they just don't know how to do it in Major League Baseball, in my opinion. They just don't get it. So I don't know. It gets my gander up because I love that word, by the way. I've always been a baseball fan, and to see this happening, I can't even factor the Pirates in. I got to be completely honest with you, because that guy just does not want to spend money. He just refuses to spend money. He picks up some scrap off the scrap heap and says, "Oh, these guys are going to be good for us," and they're not. Or he trades them once they get buried. Hey, the season in league champions in the NBA, I thought that was kind of garbage. Should the Lakers be able to raise a banner, hoist it up there like they actually did something marvelous, something spectacular? What are your thoughts on that?
I'll tell you my thoughts. Listen, they got 17 championships. This can hang in the coach's office, Now, if I was like Memphis, if I was Grizzlies, the only thing besides John Morant brandishing a gun, they could brandish that up in the rafters. Yeah, sure. But not the Lakers, not the Celtics. Come on.
That was LeBron pushing for that.
Yeah.
That was LeBron pushing for that. He got that, and he got that COVID championship.
He said, push it real good. But that's stupid for the Lakers to be.
Pause.
Yeah. So cheesy. The whole thing is cheesy as hell.
Y'all heard about Dwight Howard going to the Philippines, right? He's going over there to play.
What does that even mean? I don't understand.
He's going to the Philippines to play basketball. He's got to be 40 what now? 40 some change. 40. I mean, they made a big deal of it. I saw it in the media. I was like, why? Who cares? Who cares he's going to the Philippines?
There's a league over there?
Yeah, I guess.
League everywhere, New Bazzer.
Do they have guys over 6 foot?
Yes.
All right. I was just curious. I don't know.
Well, not a lot. It's not like when Wilt Chamberlain scored 100 against you, Mark, and Terry. Yes.
That's right. Those guys sucked back then. I forgot.
I wouldn't say they sucked. I'm just saying they were all like 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, get the ball like this. I'm not impressed.
Hey, let's talk some NFL games of the week. Let's start with this game here, and I love this game. Little Kyler Murray comes rolling up in there with a Sidney Crosby shirt. You want to talk about somebody understanding what he's doing when he did that? He knew he was stoking Philly, okay? Well, and then he goes on to beat the Eagles. Mike, this goes back to what you've been saying over and over, and I told you this a long time ago.
Yeah.
This Eagles team is not what everybody thinks it is.
Hey, I think his head coach gave him a little heads up on the jersey. It was something to piss them off. I'm sure his head coach kind of gave him some inside info on that one. How much do you love that they came back and beat Philly? That is amazing.
Makes me feel a lot better about them beating Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
They own Pennsylvania.
Yeah, ever since they beat the Steelers, they've been on a roll here.
I've watched them like 3 different times this year, and they are actually a good football team. They were just one of those teams that's really close, and I guess they got over the hump.
Close to the first round draft pick.
Well, you got to figure too. Early on in the season, they were playing Josh Dobbs at quarterback, and they had all kind of issues. Now it's kind of come around, which is surprisingly, he looks decent. Is Kyler Murray? They kind of figured out how to use him, and he looks decent.
I like their defense. I like their defense. So they're physical and they're fast in the football.
They're fast as shit.
Yeah.
They're fast. So
but they weren't hitting the running back till he was like 4 yards downfield. Like I was like, ooh man, this run game is. That's like Terry likes those guys that make tackles 7 yards downfield. If you get 50 tackles downfield, that's a
Wait.
possibility.
Wait, Arizona did that?
I'm just saying.
They only gave up 90 yards rushing.
The Eagles defense?
No, I'm saying that's what their run. They played well this week, but these past weeks their run defense has been horrendous.
Okay.
Can you throw on them?
I would think so. Name somebody in the secondary.
Bubba Baker or Buda Baker?
Buda Baker.
Oh yeah, Buda Baker's legit.
Yes.
Buda Baker.
Oh.
You know, I mean,
Right.
that's hey, look at Pittsburgh's secondary. It all starts with Minka Fitzpatrick.
I
Right?
thought it starts with Eric Rowe, personally.
Number 25.
Ryan Clark.
Jersey
Yes.
I asked for Christmas.
Ryan Clark. Hey, San Francisco over the Commanders to get the number 1 overall seed in the NFC. I didn't think it was pretty though, guys. What was it? 27-10, something
Yeah.
like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rivera comes out and he benches his, fragile young quarterback in favor of what? Same outcome, but no growth.
Well,
So
they
Go ahead,
screwed that whole thing up. No, they screwed the whole thing up. They said he was going to be benched, and then they came back and said, "Oh no, injury here. We're going to bring him back." So they brought him back, and he's starting. I don't know. They don't know what's going on. What ends left? What's right? I hate Chase Young. Just watching that guy, he's so overrated. God,
You don't like him, huh?
no, he's so overrated. He had 1 tackle the entire game.
Wow.
He's so overrated. I'm not a fan.
he has no push. I watched some of that. He has no push. Trent Williams just kind of stood there at one arm, just holding him back. I mean, it was ridiculous.
Wait. He was going against Trent. Trent? What?
No,
Trent's a left tackle, wasn't he? Do I have it screwed up?
they're on the same team. That would have been in
Oh,
practice.
never mind. I was thinking about. Never mind.
I was about to say,
Who's the left tackle from San Francisco?
Trent Williams.
Trent Williams, but Chase plays for the San Francisco 49ers also.
Who's the left tackle from the Skins? That's what I keep trying to say. It's not coming out.
Moses.
Okay.
Isn't it Moses?
Well,
No,
I'll tell you what, he
he's
did a nice job on him, and he didn't have to work very hard. That guy did not have to work very hard at all. It will be interesting to see if San Francisco is the team, because the Ravens just went out there, and we didn't talk about this because we had our holiday special, but the Ravens went out there and laid ass to San Francisco. Now, Purdy threw 4 picks, 3 of which were labeled on him, but they weren't necessarily his. Okay. 1 was an arm hit, 2 were off of hands. I mean, I don't know. I like how the Ravens capitalize. I think they do a great job of that, which leads me into the Red Hot Ravens over Miami. So this is back-to-back week, guys. They just beat San Francisco soundly. Then they come home and they pound the snot out of Miami.
Not easy. Not easy to do with Miami's offense. They're explosive. I was listening to an interview with Jonathan Allen, plays for the Redskins, defense tackle, and he said they were watching the Ravens film, and San Francisco's offense is so versatile. You can't try to stop everything they do. You just have to play extremely physical. And he said that's what the Ravens did. The Ravens just said, we're going to smack you in the mouth. And they played hard-nosed football and did a great job. And I guess they did that to Miami too. They just smacked them in the mouth.
Yeah.
Well, that's those finesse teams.
Let me ask you a question.
That's where Harbaugh has maintained that Raven culture. That standard is the standard phrase. He's maintained that culture. That's where the culture has changed with some other teams who used to have that hard-nosed mentality. And I'm not going to get into who those teams are. I think you know who I'm talking about. But, it's very evident that the Ravens have maintained that culture.
Definitely their defenses.
So let me ask you a question. Are you on the Jackson bandwagon yet?
For MVP?
Lamar Jackson?
Yeah.
I like that argument.
If you had to rate the quarterbacks right now, Maradei, where are you putting him?
Lamar Jackson's in my top 2, top 3. He's up there with Josh Allen right now. Josh Allen's playing by himself up in Buffalo offensively. He's playing by himself. He really is. James Cook had a couple of really good games, and then he fell right back down to earth. And
Diggs, he ain't been around lately.
Diggs started out red hot. He was leading the league. He had like a shit ton of catches for over 800 yards, not even halfway into the season, and like he's gone. He disappeared.
He had my fantasy team rolling.
Yep.
The thing with Jackson, the dual threat. I mean, he just freezes those linebackers. How do you account for that and spine someone on him or whatever? But it's just I can't imagine playing that.
Well,
it's intense, and I don't know who's going to stop it right now because that is a threat. But he doesn't have to use it all the time. I think they're putting him in premier positions to dump it off. Hey, who cares? They're moving the chains, or hold it and run because who's going to stop him? He's going to get the first.
you got to get him down. That's the thing.
56 points. Whew.
I don't think Pittsburgh has the personnel to stop him if he plays this week.
You stopped him last time.
With the personnel they have right now.
Oh, Eric Rowe in the team. Okay, yeah, Miles.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah, there's a difference between playing Geno Smith in Seattle and Lamar Jackson in Baltimore, and I don't think Pittsburgh has to. Now, do I think Lamar's going to play this week? I doubt it. Like I wouldn't chance it. He can rest up for a couple of weeks.
Hey,
he can get rid of a lot of bumps and bruises and aches and pains.
One thing with that game, real quick, Waddle didn't play, did he?
No.
And so
neither did Mostert.
But Acne had over 100 yards. But the thing is, if they don't have that complementary dynamic duo out there, Miami is like, they shit the bed. They didn't do it last time that Hill wasn't, but Waddle was. They got beat. And
okay, so I don't know if you watched the game. What happened was they were up by I think they were up by a touchdown. Tyreek Hill caught the ball in the end zone. He caught it, and then he tried to switch hands and lost it. So that they had to kick a field goal. And after that, it went downhill. If he catches that touchdown, that might be different. That would put him up 21, I think, 7. I'm not mistaken. I had to check.
Is there anybody coming out of the NCAA that is ready to lead their team like Lamar Jackson right now?
No. With
the same dual threat tools?
Cam Ward. I like Cam Ward out of Washington State.
Does he have the same tools? That's my question.
He runs and throws, yeah.
What about Daniels? What about Daniels from LSU?
I like him a lot.
Yeah.
He's going to be the steal of the draft, I think. That's just my opinion, obviously. Who do you think? Caleb Williams?
No. No, we discussed this yesterday.
Penix?
No. Mark, come on.
Bo Nix.
No. We talked about what quarterback it's going to be?
McCarthy.
Oh, yeah, J.J. McCarthy.
Hey, man, listen. I posted he got to have a big night, then he threw the intercept. But he came back. Well, I guess they overturned it, but he played a hell of a game, man. That
kid's good. They've been talking about that kid for a couple of years. I've watched him last two or 3 years. He's good. Yeah, he's smart too.
He didn't get shook. He didn't go into panic mode.
No,
hell of a game.
Not like Gilmore.
And you know what? In his defense too, continuing in his defense, he plays in the Big Ten.
Yeah,
he plays tough teams. He plays in the Big Ten. You know, whereas a guy like Pickett played in the ACC, he played for 100 years, and now what's he doing in the NFL? And trust me, man, you know this about me. I was a big Pickett guy, but I really soured on him. You know, after watching Mason Rudolph, you know, and somebody's trying to say to me today, he's still a baby. I said he's 25 fucking years old. He'll be 26 when they take the first snap next year. He's not a baby. He's not a baby. Whatever he's missing, I don't know if he's going to be able to gain that in order to be successful.
Bo Nix will be the next Kenny Pickett. He's 60 years old also.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I meant Milroe, not Gilmore.
Yes.
On that last play.
Milroe's just an athlete playing quarterback, I think. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll buy into that. Let's talk a little controversy now. Mike wanted to get in a little NFL controversy, talk about some referees, and I agree with him on this. You know, guys, those guys are never held accountable for these calls. This is something that is just absolutely absurd. and I'm not sure what kind of money they make. I know they used to have day jobs. Shit, remember Chuck Eberling?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the head of the WPIAL, and then he was a referee in the NFL.
He was like the
You know.
cheerleaders. They
So,
still got jobs.
but okay, let's start with the Kansas City over Cincinnati game. Mike,
Yep.
I know you watched a lot of that game and you saw some plays that were absolutely insane. No, we're going to go backwards. We're going to start with this game because my guy's here from Detroit.
Oh,
We're going
nice.
to bring
Get him
in my
on.
guy, Coach Don Duman.
What's
Welcome,
up, baby?
Coach Duman. How you doing, baby?
Hey,
Good,
how-
brother.
how long have you had that shirt?
This shirt here, this is a new shirt actually, so maybe only about 2 months.
Okay.
This you can tell the color is pretty new and pretty nice on this one.
One more quick question. Give me an old line that we might not know, so I can see if you're really a fan.
An old line that you might not know.
Or might know.
Well, I don't know if you remember. Do you remember the Reggie Brown injury? He played at USC. He actually got paralyzed. Yeah, so there's an old one right there. Not too many people remember that story, or the Mike Utley story from the early '90s.
Utley, yep.
Wow.
Thumbs up.
Hey, my favorite Lion is Kevin Glover,
There you go, baby. Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
University of Maryland.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Is he still there, Mike? Is he still doing the character coach stuff?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
Nick,
that's what he does.
It's
Nick,
been
I got-
30 years. Congratulations for winning the North Day.
My God, dude. I was in high school. I was 19 years old, man. Like, wow,
That's the
God.
last time they won it?
The division, yeah.
30 years.
You had hair back then, Duman.
I had hair, man. God dang. I thought we would get it done with some of those years with Stafford and Calvin and stuff, but we just didn't really have the defense and the running game to go with that.
Interesting you say that because I was talking to somebody, might have actually been my son, and I think that's who it was. I think it was Vincent. And I was saying, Detroit wasn't even that good when they had Kelvin Johnson and they had Barry Sanders. They just couldn't get it done.
Well, I mean, Barry, that's the 90s era. And, they would win games. They would make it to the playoffs, but they'd be out in the first round.
Yeah.
That's just kind of how it was. And a lot of dudes like Wayne Fonts catches a lot of crap up there. Like there's a lot of fans up there that just think that guy did not know what he was doing at all. And because that team did have some talent in the 90s, but they could never really get past round one.
Right. Herman Moore.
Herman Moore.
That's who I was thinking of too.
Yeah, they had a few different quarterbacks going through. Scott Mitchell, Rodney Peete, all those guys.
You said Barry. Barry who?
Yeah.
No.
Barry Clark.
Did you watch Bye Bye Barry on Amazon Prime?
So, to be honest, I have not watched that one yet. I have to watch that one.
Yes. Got to see that.
Yes.
Look, man, Barry Sanders, that guy, so amazing, right? I mean, just unbelievably amazing. Say it. Say it again.
Oh, no, I was putting on the Penguin game.
Oh, sorry. No, man, just, as a Lions fan, dude, first down, maybe he get a yard, second down, maybe 2 yards, and then whatever, the next time they hit him the ball, it's a 60-yard run. I mean, that guy was just unbelievable. He did take some crap in Detroit for not being more of a vocal leader. I don't know how much that makes the national market, but he was so, just humble, and when he would score and if you ever watch like any of the highlights and stuff, I don't know if that guy's ever smiling really, you know what I mean? Like he was just a different guy.
That's why you had to watch that special they had because it goes into all of that.
Yeah, I gotta check that out for sure. And I think it's really disgusting how they basically approach that with Bobby Ross when Barry decides he's going to retire. I mean, dude, you got to get on an airplane and fly out to that guy's house. You know what I mean? And like, you got to talk to that guy. But you guys remember Bobby Ross? I mean, he just wasn't doing that.
Yeah,
Coach at Georgia Tech.
Who was your favorite player growing up?
Wow.
Well, obviously, Barry Sanders was obviously, but Chris Spielman was really kind of the guy because I played middle linebacker in high school, and I grew up 45 minutes north of Detroit, and Chris Spielman was just the guy, man. I mean, I remember reading articles back in the early 90s. He was the kind of guy that would like drive a POS car to the practice, get out, and he was an NFL linebacker, but he just wasn't like a shiny, flashy dude. He was just like a badass linebacker. So that was kind of the guy that I really, really loved. You know what I mean? And there's another defensive end, Robert Porcher.
Mm-hmm.
And that guy was awesome too, man.
Porcher.
What about Mark Spindler?
Okay, yeah, that's going back. That's going back.
Take us through the 90s and the early 2000s with this team, Dooman. What was it like being on board with them?
Well, like I said, man, in the 90s, we won some games. We would make the playoffs here and there, I mean, quite a few times actually, just not win division. We would be that wild card game. We would lose in the first round. Early 2000s was not good at all. They went through a bunch of coaching changes there. I mean, it was bad, there were Steve Mariucci. There was a couple other guys. The D-line guy, Rod Marinelli. And I would watch all those press conferences, and those guys all had the right things to say, but it was like you couldn't just make it. Like you couldn't make it happen. It's like, I don't know if you ever heard of the curse of Bobby Lane, the whole Bobby Lane thing in Detroit with that it's just a cursed team. You know what I mean? I will tell you the ownership under, William Clay Ford, for a lot of years there, people just didn't believe he really cared, man. Like he just didn't care. He wasn't involved in the team much at all. It was just kind of a money thing for him because fans would still go,
Yeah, I know the feeling.
We're seeing a similar thing here in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Well, we have a coach who's won 17 consecutive years. He's had winning seasons. I like your coach now. What are your thoughts on Dan Campbell?
I love Dan Campbell. Look, man, I'm me, coach. I'm a high school football coach for 10 years. I love the rah-rah. He's a player's guy. He's going to motivate you. He's going to hold you to a high standard. He's going to hold you accountable. But I got to tell you, man, this going for it stuff is driving me nuts, dude. Like, I mean, I get going for it. When he told the guys, at the 141 mark, we're going to drive down, we're going to score, we're going to go for two. Hey, I'm all into that. But once you get the penalty, bro, come on, man. Like, now you got the penalty, you're backed up. You got to, at some point, you got to kick it. I think what I'm a little bit concerned about is I think that he is a player's coach, and I think that the players love him. But at some point, do the players start to question, like, damn, coach, what are we doing here, man? Like, I just saw an interesting shot of Montgomery sitting on the bench after that Dallas game Saturday night. And it's like, dude, they had a shot, man. But, and I don't, not to take this into another area, but I don't think Goff's the guy, man. Like, I don't think he's the guy. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Interesting.
I mean,
you think, okay, if you had to redo that trade, would you have kept Stafford?
God, so I love Matt Stafford. I love him. I watched that guy for years. That dude is a quarterback, man. That dude, you look at his career statistics, you look at man, you could get on there and Google some of the, I don't know if you ever saw that play. It was, I think it was either his rookie year or second year. It was a Cleveland Browns game. He gets hammered, dude. Like he's wearing a mic so you can hear it all. He gets drilled into the ground, dislocates or separates his shoulder, comes off the sideline. The freaking Browns call timeout. So he's like, I can go back in. He goes in and throws the game-winning thing. Like Stafford was just like brilliant. He was competitor. I love that guy. If they could have got that guy a running game and some defense, I think we'd have been all right. I mean, at that time.
Hey, speaking of running game, what do you think of the Gibbs kid?
Oh my God, yeah, that kid's explosive, man. I mean, he can do a lot out of the backfield. You throw him the ball. I don't know how much I think we're getting a little bit too cute with our play calling and stuff, man. Like we get in the third quarter Saturday night, we get down inside the 5-yard line. We just drove right down the field running the rock. And then we get inside the 5-yard line and we run a gun bunch run play, which I know I don't love gun run plays down inside the 5. I mean, I want something that's downhill. Give me some pullers. Give me something. Like, he couldn't even get anywhere. We get stuffed up. I guess if you're going to go gun, maybe spread the defense a little bit.
I never understand that.
Yeah, but they bunch it and go gun, and we got nothing. Then they throw a pass, and then we try to run on the 3rd down, nothing, and then we throw a pass on 4th down. I would have ran that sucker 4 straight times with Montgomery. You know what I mean? Like two back, some kind of lead. I mean, so I'm not loving the calls, man.
Hey, Don, those 2
Noobs, you want to drop the bombshell on him about the O-line?
Say that again?
Yeah.
You want to drop the bombshell on him?
What are you talking about? The all the issues of like number 68? Are they talking about that up there?
No. Who's the O-line
Oh,
coach?
Hank, my guy, Hank Fraley. I coached him.
Oh, you coached him?
Well, I didn't coach him. I coached linebackers on that team, but it was my first year coaching. Yeah, he was on at Gaithersburg High School.
That's awesome, man. The offensive line is great. I keep hearing they're, one of the top ones in the league. I will say, I mean, I try to watch it every game I can, I will say I just don't. I mean, we've been banged up a little bit this year. We are healthy now. I think Dallas gave us some problems there Saturday night. You know what I mean? We did not run the ball very well. And what I was trying to say about Goff was, like, I like Goff. I think he's a good quarterback. I just don't think he's that guy that's going to win you a Super Bowl, man. I just don't know about that. I think he's that guy who, like, very conservative guy. As long as he's not under pressure, he can do some really good stuff. But my God, man, it's the playoffs. You're going to be under pressure. You know what I mean? Like,
well, they got a nice 1-2 punch with those running backs, like we said, Jahmyr Gibbs and Montgomery. 1,900 yards and 21 touchdowns. That's impressive. That's a great 1-2 punch, man.
And I don't even know what the numbers were. I should have looked that up before I got on here. What they rush for Saturday night? What Dallas hold him to? It was under
125 combined, everybody.
Okay, yeah.
We had 65 and Gibbs had 43. So
yeah, we have to establish that run. That's also where Goff is much better, right? In that play action game. He can't throw the out, man. He can't throw the out. I don't know if you've seen that, man. He threw that interception on the out.
Interception, yeah.
And then the last play of the game there, when they're going for 2, he throws a real crappy out that's like, I don't know who's going to catch that. I don't even know.
Go ahead. I was going to ask, what's the consensus up there on that penalty? Was it whose fault are they saying up there?
So I think from what I've been seeing, look, Dan Campbell is a tricky guy, man. Like he's the Mad Hatter. He under Sean Payton, you know what I mean? Like, so that guy's going to do some interesting stuff. And Coach, that's what they were trying to do. It was like a ruse thing. Right. They're bringing in Skipper all game long reporting, and then in that play, when they wanted it, they send 3 linemen over to that guy, and only one of them reports. Right? It's total. Can we cuss on here, Coach?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. It's total bullshit. We got hosed, man. Like that's a big deal. Now I'll tell you, the coach side of me always wants to say games don't come down to one play. You got 60 minutes to get it done. But man, in this league, that's freaking huge, man. Like, Detroit practiced that. They went over that a million times. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. I'm just really frustrated on that, man. Like, there's got to be some accountability. This is the NFL, man. And you can see Goff sent Decker over to report. Decker's the only guy who talked to him, but the dude wasn't even looking at Decker. He was looking at Skipper. So I watched the Detroit Free Press thing last night, and they were saying that Detroit did it so well that they tricked the officials.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm just like, come on, man. Like, we got to do a. What you got?
I want to see if you guys could see what I have pulled up here. I pulled up a picture of. Oh shit! Can I do this? I pulled up a picture of
We're just
Okay,
learning how
happen.
to use the internet. Bear with me.
You know, this guy right here.
I do.
All right.
I
have
do
a
watch
picture-
you guys.
Hey, listen, I have a picture of.
Take a picture with your phone and then turn it around.
Yeah, okay. There you go.
While
There
you're
you
doing
go.
it, and while you're doing it, I'm gonna ask Dawn a question.
Go
David
ahead.
Craig or Eric Hipple?
Oh, give me the first name again.
David Craig or Eric Hipple?
Oh, yeah, probably Hipple.
And you forgot two big guys. One that's near and dear to our heart, all-time interception leader,
Oh, you're talking about LeBeau?
LeBeau.
Yeah. I mean, that's old school, baby.
And,
That's bad.
and Rasheem's favorite, TV star in the 80s, Webster, Mr. Alex
Okay.
Harris.
Alex
Yes.
Harris.
Yes.
We can't see that picture, man.
Why, dude, what is that, Coach?
Hold on. Let's put the readers on. Hold on.
You can't see this.
Yeah, that's two lions talking to
So-
Yeah, but you can see clearly 68 and the referee are looking at each other.
Wow.
And he's telling him,
Did he do this?
So that's a
"He's
good.
not hungry."
That's a good point. Like, I really don't think that Decker did that. From all the clips I've seen, you know how guys do that, and I've even been hearing some stuff lately that sometimes they won't even say anything. They'll just do that, and they get the okay, they get the thumbs up. Decker clearly didn't do that. Like, it wasn't that obvious, but Decker says he told him.
Right.
And again, they're trying to trick him. There is a little bit of a trickery there with Campbell. They're sending three guys over. Panay Sewell was over there. Decker's over there. And then Skipper comes sprinting on, and he's been reporting all night. So I think that official just got a little bit, like, he just assumed, he got a little bit lazy, and he heard a guy report, but it was not Skipper. It was Decker. So does Detroit need to do a better job? I don't know. I think that part of that trickery is, you don't really want to give that away. Now, I do know, okay, so the white hat's going to go over and tell the defense who's eligible. But, Coach, you know as well as I do, like, not every cat out there is going to, they're not all the smartest dudes. So even when you say somebody's eligible, you're in the fog of war, your heart rate's flying high, you just might make a mistake, or even a slight delay in coverage is that edge you get. So I think that's why the Lions are doing that, just to create some sort of, edge, even if it's a millisecond to make a player think. You know what I mean? I think that's why they do it. And I've heard a lot of people say, well, why try to trick anyone? Because the referee's just going to come over and he's just going to tell the guys, hey, 68's eligible. But I still think when you say that in a game,
You're hoping the other team doesn't hear it, or I don't know, they think it's the other guy. I don't know.
I don't even know if it's that they don't hear it. I don't know that they communicate it. You know what I mean? Like, as a coach, for years, we have coached and we want guys to do stuff. It doesn't always get communicated across the front. So I think that's part of their plan. And so I don't know. I just, what are we going to do in the NFL, man? Like, I think something's got to be done here. Like, what's the answer?
I'm not sure
It
what
just-
the answer is, to be
It
honest
smells
with you.
so shady. The whole thing just seems so shady. Like, what? God darn. For the outcome of the game, like, there's so much on the line for that one call, and to be in the official's hands and then make that call it just seems so wrong.
Hey, Coach, do you think do you understand what I'm talking about with the ruse behind it, though?
100%.
I mean, do you think that makes sense, or do you think they're just outthinking themselves?
Probably a little bit of both. I think
Yeah.
they probably did outthink themselves a little bit, but it does make sense what they were doing. I mean, I could see why you would do that. I think also you get put to sleep as a defender. Like, you keep hearing, 70's eligible, 70's eligible, 70's
Yes.
eligible. And every single time he's blocking, and you're like, and like you said, it happens so fast.
Yep.
And if you're that defender, you have two jobs. You got to cover that guy man, and you have the D gap. It's hard to do both.
you're put in conflict, you know? So
Yep.
I think the scheme from Detroit is awesome. And I really do like the coaching staff up there. And I love what Dan's doing. But, man, we got to reel Dan in. Somebody's got to reel that guy in. And guys, I've been watching this all year. Like, the Thanksgiving Day game against Green Bay, like, we're starting to build some momentum. And he freaking goes for a fake punt, like on the 33-yard line or 34-yard line. Like, what the? I mean, it's crazy.
But let me ask you this.
No team in the league has gone for it more times than them this year.
Let me ask you this, though. At the end of the day, would you rather have a guy like him who's going to give you a chance and be aggressive?
I love
Would
him.
you rather have the standard is the standard?
No, I love him. I mean, I would love to play for that guy. I just wonder, man, like, at some point, there's got to be somebody talking like, damn, dude, we do this a lot. Like, they do it a lot, coach. Like, in the third quarter, we went for it on fourth down. We did not get it, and we lost 20-19. You kick the field goal there, we win the game. Forget the 2-point play.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, he's always going for it. Now, I don't know. I don't play in the NFL. Do those players feel like, hey, man, he believes in us? Or do those players start to think, damn, dude, you're putting us in some bad positions?
Yeah.
I don't know. You know what I mean?
I think it depends on the efficiency of your offense a lot of times, whether you decide to go for it or not. Like, you look at us, LA Chargers, Staley's known for doing the same thing, like going for it. And the numbers supposedly don't lie. Well, they have a great quarterback, but then their offense started to falter this year. And then that stuff bites you in the ass because your offense they're not that good where they're making those plays all the time. Whereas if you're super efficient, like say the 49ers or somebody like that, where you're making plays, you're averaging 4 or 5 yards a play. It's a different call than if you're a team that's inconsistent.
Yeah, I agree.
That's a good point. You have confidence in the offense to do it, but you have faith in the defense to stop them if they don't. And I think that's important that both sides, he thinks we can do it. And
he believes in his dudes, man. He believes in his dudes, and they believe in him. It's definitely a really good, they got it grinding right now. There's a thing in Detroit, SOL, same old Lions, and I was just reading some Detroit Free Press stuff, like that is dead and gone. Like, so that's gone, man. Like they do believe in this team. It's just, then you find out on Sunday, Philly loses, and it's like, God, if we'd have just kicked that point, and then, I don't know. I mean, another big play, freaking CeeDee Lamb, the touchdown pass to CeeDee Lamb. I mean, we got Prescott sacked in the end zone, dude. Like, we got him sacked in the end zone. Do you see that play?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, Barnes, NFL linebacker, on a blitz, just like, I don't even know what he did, dude. Like, that's not even, I think Troy Aikman said, that's not even flag football, like, style. Like, that was terrible. So you take that one play away, we win that game. So for me, as a Detroit Lions fan, hey, man, we're playing relevant football games in late December. We are in the hunt of this thing. Our coaches got us believing. The city believes. It's really stinking fun. We got an awesome running game. We are banged up on defense. So I was very proud of that defense to go into Dallas and give up 20 points, man. I mean, I think Dallas is averaging, 40 points a game in there, or 38 or something?
Yeah, they're up there. But after next week, they're projected to play the Rams, right? And playing the old quarterback.
That's going to be huge, man.
Third. Lions are third seed, and the Rams are the sixth.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting. Stu, I got one last question for you, and then I'm going to let you go and get ready to teach tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
When I'm watching football in January, am I going to be watching Detroit the whole way into February, or where do you see them? Where do you see them at?
I don't see them as making the Super Bowl right now. I see them. Obviously, they won the division. They're getting a home playoff game. They're going to win that game. They're going to win that game against the Rams. It's not going to be easy because the secondary is not awesome. So we need a big game. We are getting a couple guys back, it sounds like. I think we're getting what's his name? The big defensive lineman McNeil from Bama. I think we're getting him back. And then CJ Gardner, I think we're getting him back. there was some talk on maybe getting Houston back. So the defense definitely has to heal up a little bit. I think we can get one playoff game, maybe get another playoff game. Past that, dude, I just don't think we're there yet. You know what I mean? I don't know that Goff is that guy. You know, like you just pressure that guy and you're going to cause problems for him. He has zero escapability. He can't get out. He's not mobile at all. So, like, you know, I just don't know that.
If they win,
that's where I see us.
If they win and Dallas wins, it's a rematch.
It's a rematch.
It's a rematch of 17. So,
I think Detroit can get them. Hey, dude, thanks for joining us tonight, man. We're going to have you back on as these playoffs continue. Bring you back in for another clip and get to talk to you.
Yeah, babe. Cool. Thanks for having me, man. Hey, God bless. Take care, man. Take care.
Thanks a lot.
Take care, Coach.
Yep. Bye.
Double D.
Hey, that was good stuff, man. That was good stuff from a diehard. You know, we're Noob's diehard Skins fan. We're diehard Steelers fan. You heard it from a guy who was born and raised on the Lions. Can you imagine all those years just living in the abyss like the Lions did?
Yes, I can. Yes.
Your life's about to change. Your life's about to change. I promise you.
Let's hope.
I promise
you.
Hey,
one thing I wanted to tell him, man, who in the NFC is better? Like, I mean, 49ers everyone likes, but who else is it? Who else?
I'm looking at right now. I think that they got a legitimate chance. They got.
Hey, listen, you take Dallas out of Dallas, they can't win. You take Dallas out of Dallas, they can't win. You know, if they wouldn't have got that call from the official, Dallas doesn't win that game, guys.
No,
Dallas
they should have won. I don't think they were the better team.
All right, give me your playoff teams for Week 18. Everything's over. Last gun sounds. Who's your playoff teams? Can we all agree? Number one in each is going to be the Ravens and San Francisco because they clinched, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, you got a couple clinchers. Ravens, Dolphins, Chiefs are in, right?
Yeah.
In the AFC? Let's just talk AFC.
Who wins in the AFC South? Because that comes down to Jacksonville and Indy on Sunday.
Well,
Indy.
Jacksonville's playing Cleveland. And so, or no, I'm sorry, they're not playing Cleveland. Jacksonville is playing Indy. That's going to be a tough game. I think Jacksonville wins, and Indy gets the 7th seed.
Interesting. So who wins that Bills-Miami game? Did the Bills get in?
Jacksonville's playing Carolina.
Oh, Jacksonville's in Carolina. Okay, who's Indy? Indy has Tennessee, right?
I'm out real quick on that. Did you see what Carolina's owner did?
Yeah.
What the? He's up in the box, just takes his beer and throws it on.
There's something about being an owner in Carolina. It just makes you a little wacky. Remember the 2 owners ago did some stupid shit?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God.
So Cleveland's in 2, you guys. Cleveland is in 2. They're in the number 5 seed.
I like
All right, so we're just looking at 6 and 7. Do the Bills beat Miami to get in?
No.
Miami wins that game.
No.
Does Pittsburgh beat the Ravens to get in? The Bills play Miami in Miami.
Oh.
It's for the conference. It's for the division.
They don't. I don't think they do.
It's for the division.
If everyone from Miami's healthy, no.
What you think, Noobs?
Miami's kind of reeling right now.
Okay.
And this is the Monday night game, right?
It's Monday?
No, there's no more games. Sunday's the last game.
Sunday night game. It's the Sunday night game.
Sundays, buddy.
In
yeah,
Miami.
it is. It's the last game of the week. It's the Sunday night game. Yep, 100%. 100%. Well, I guess we'll find out. Does Pittsburgh beat the Ravens to get in? If the Bills lose, does Pittsburgh beat the Ravens to get in?
Yes.
Rasheed with a yes. Noobs, you got that look.
I'm not big. I don't see the Steelers doing much.
Machine Gun Mason, is he going to pull out 3 in a row?
Mason's going to play well. Steelers win. Make the playoffs. Win the first game. He plays well again. Lose the game, the second playoff game.
Lose the divisional round.
Hey, tickets are only going for $56 if you guys want to go.
The Ravens game. Sorry,
just
I'll be
saying.
up in Hershey.
Just saying.
It's
I'm
in
going
Baltimore.
to the Bears game.
It's in
Is it in
Baltimore.
Baltimore?
Baltimore, yeah.
Only if New Bowser goes because they like to fight down there. So
Yeah.
he's smart. Be a big person.
You say, I got your back.
No, me and you getting beat up, Tara.
Hey,
Beat up.
let's jump over. Let's jump over to the NFC. We got Frisco in, right?
Yes.
Who else is in?
Dallas,
Cowboys are in.
Cowboys
Detroit,
are in.
Detroit's in.
Philadelphia's in. Detroit's
Yes.
in. You got a plethora of teams that are.
Yeah, bucking for the last couple spots.
Yep.
Did the Viking did Green Bay get in with that win this week? Or they
Not
got-
I
yet.
don't think so.
not yet.
they win this
They
week?
need another one.
Not yet. They're 8-8, and the Vikings are 7-9. So we're waiting for that division, and then the NFC South, which is horrible.
Oh,
Tampa and New Orleans are 8-8, and Falcons are 7-9.
New Orleans is going to get in.
Who's
Did
New
you see
Orleans
Brian Brsay? Hey, did you see Brian Brsay broke the New Orleans defensive tackle sack record,
What?
rookie sack record?
who had it?
Nice.
I don't know.
Some other rookie.
Yeah.
The Rams are in. So here's
Atlanta is at New Orleans.
the Rams are in too, by the way.
Yeah, the Rams are in. Yep.
So the Bucks are in the hunt. The Packers are in the hunt.
I'd be a little nervous to play the Rams. Rams are playing good football right now.
They got
Kieran Williams is killing it, buddy.
Now if you're
Yeah.
Frisco,
Killing it.
I agree, but not if you're Frisco.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
They might not have the D that Frisco has, but they got a pretty explosive offense.
All right.
Buccaneers. I got
Real
the
quick,
Buccaneers.
1 minute questions, okay? 1 minute questions. We'll go round the horn, then we'll finish up with T-Sizzle trivia. Here we go. Russell Wilson versus Sean Payton. Who did the disservice there?
Sean Payton.
Peyton.
Payton. Noobs.
Listen, and watching the highlights, the videos, like he just berates him on the sideline.
He didn't like him from the beginning.
I think
It's
All right.
not only that.
Have you guys ever coached that entitled quarterback who can do no wrong? And I've been in his shoes. I don't know the whole situation. But
Listen,
my God, you hear a lot of stuff about Russell Wilson, even going back to
I agree.
Seattle.
I agree. To answer your question, no, because I only coached one good team. I only was on part of one team, so no,
All right.
I didn't have any entitled quarterbacks.
I can tell you it can make your life hell. And when I see him, I see a frustration that I recognize firsthand. And then I say, that poor man, because it is hell having a kid who thinks he's better than he is, or a guy who can do no wrong. He has excuses for everything. He doesn't do the film work. I don't know that those are all the truth. I don't know that. I'm not there. But I just see the frustration on his face. It's awful.
Yeah, I can hear what you're saying, but you're talking high school. Now you're talking grown man versus grown man.
And
The
you're
wrong
talking-
grown man would have pushed Sean Payton's face.
And you're talking multi-million-dollar contracts.
Yeah.
And I think that's the issue. They
George
lied about his
Pickens-
contract.
George Pickens would have put his hand in Peyton's face and said, "Don't talk to me like that. I'm a grown ass man. You just don't talk to grown men like that." In my opinion,
Maybe Pickens doesn't do the things to deserve that kind of treatment. I don't know.
We're moving on. Joe Flacco resurrected. Does Cleveland keep Joe Flacco around after this year? What happens if Cleveland goes to the Super Bowl and wins it?
Dude, we were talking today, me and my brother. They said that Watson's going to get $46 million for the next 3 years. 1 year 46, 1 year 46, 1 year 46.
Yeah.
Crazy.
No matter what.
Crazy.
Guaranteed.
Crazy. Yeah.
Yep. And you can't get out from underneath that contract. That's why it's going to be hard for him to get moved. It's going to be hard for Kyler Murray to get moved. Any of those guys that have those monster contracts, it's going to be tough. It's going to be
Flacco's 38. Is he resurrected? Yes. He's helped the team get, but it's behind this amazing D. I think the D is really where it's at.
He's putting points on the board.
The line is
Points
legit.
on the board.
Their offensive line is amazing.
Yeah, it's one of the best in the NFL.
That's why they got the studs and running back. But
They can put you at running back, brother, and you gonna get about 6 yards.
I'd love to see Sis running the ball. Go get it, boy.
Hey,
That's
go
crazy.
ahead.
All right, here we go. Next question. Why is the league speaking of Cleveland, why is the league pushing for Garrett so hard?
You're muffled.
why is the league pushing Myles Garrett
Myles
So,
Garrett.
for the
Why are they
DPO?
pushing Myles Garrett so hard?
Because it's Cleveland. They might as well hang a banner. What the heck? They got nothing else.
I don't know why. I mean, he's good, but
His numbers don't match up to everybody in the league. They don't. You know, I think I sent you guys numbers the other day, and he's like fourth in numbers behind even Bosa, behind Parsons, who hasn't even played well the second part of the season. Like,
Yeah.
Garrett is not the end all. I'm not sure why the league has such an infatuation with the guy, but
How much
Man,
does the team
he
factor
looks-
into that, though? The team's success factor into that.
Maybe, and he looks like Adonis too. Like he looks like. Maybe that's what it is. They like the way he looks.
Do you want me to take my shirt off? Quit talking smack. Quit talking over there.
He'll be the MVP of our
I can
podcast.
read between the lines. Jeez.
Jesus is trying to become the MVP of the podcast.
oh my god! All right, here we go.
Show T-Sis.
Hey, 2023. I don't know if it was a blur, if it was what it was for you, but keeping sports related, some major tournaments happened, and see how many of these people you know. And we'll start with, I don't know, U.S. Men's Open tennis. Who won?
Federer.
Metarovic, whatever his name.
You're off. Who you got?
I don't know. Not the guy that couldn't come over because he didn't get vaccinated.
I'm going with Federer.
It's Djokovic.
Oh,
How about the Women's Open?
Wait, did Djokovic? Didn't he not get vaccinated?
Hello. I said that.
What? That was Djokovic?
You put an M in there.
You were like Mena.
Djokovic.
I thought you were trying to say Mendenhall.
Metarovic.
Who was the U.S. Open women's tennis champ?
Steffi
Oh,
Graf.
she got one chick.
Close.
Martina Navratilova.
No, she's a young girl.
Yes, she's young.
She's from Britain.
There's a cartoon, not a cartoon off of her.
Madeline.
Coco Gauff.
That's what I
That's
said.
right.
I said the
She's
black
from
girl.
Hawaii or something?
She's from Compton.
Yeah, Compton.
Oh,
Who won the Masters? You guys
Straight out
remember
of Compton.
Masters? I mean, that was in June, but
Tiger Woods.
Justin Bieber. What's his name?
Bieber?
Justin Thompson.
Berlander.
yes, John Rahm.
John Rahm.
Interesting.
We suck at this.
Who won the World Series?
That's
Last
easy.
year?
You sure?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Texas.
it was a clean sweep. No, they lost one game.
Texas.
Texas.
Tejas.
Yes. Who won the
Texas,
Super Bowl?
Kansas City.
Kansas City.
Chiefs.
Yeah.
Who won the Stanley Cup?
The
Is
Stanley
that
Cup.
Vegas?
The Kings.
Vegas?
Vegas.
Yeah.
Who?
How about the Vegas? Yeah.
I was going to say the Knights.
How about the NBA Finals? Who won?
Not Milwaukee.
Denver.
Denver.
That's right. Joko.
Denver.
Who was the
That's
FIFA
right.
Women's World Cup champ?
Germany.
Greece.
Japan?
Spain.
Oh, damn.
How about the women's
Caramba.
college basketball?
LSU.
LSU.
Yeah. Last one. World Cup for rugby.
Australia.
Close.
Right next to it.
Austria.
New Zealand. New Zealand.
The South African Springboks.
Ah.
It's the year in review of 2023 champs.
Hey, that was good,
Good job,
young. You got to
T-Sizz.
come
I
to the
like
table
that.
every week. T Sizzle's Game of
Whoa.
Thrones.
Oh, okay.
You got a question for us tonight,
Yes, I
Mr.
do.
Hill? Before we wrap this up,
I do. Hey, I need to know who is your favorite group, music wise, and what's your favorite song by that group?
Oh, Jesus.
Sizzle, go.
Didn't we do this? I think
We didn't. Or you know.
yeah. Well, I like you too.
Okay.
The group, not you. The group. And I don't know the song. Probably
Beautiful Day.
It's a beautiful. Nah, still haven't found what you're looking for.
Yeah, old school.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was
I
thinking.
like the one about MLK. I like that one.
Huh?
From you too.
Yeah. Next.
Noobs.
Right.
What do you got?
Oh, Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh wow.
Under the Bridge.
Under the
Give it away now.
Bridge. Hey, stick around. The next song, the next opening song, going to have a little flavor to it.
Flavor Flav.
Yeah, I was going to go with you too. I was going to go still haven't found what I'm looking for. But my second favorite is probably Van Halen.
Hot for Teacher.
No. Ain't talking about love.
I love Hot for Teacher.
What you got, Dream?
All right, Rasheen. Yeah, what do you got?
Oh man, I gotta answer this.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Whew, man, my favorite group. Wow, probably Confunction, man. Confunction. I'm a funk guy. I love funk.
Commodores?
No, Confunction.
Oh, I know who Confunction is.
Confunction Junction.
Yes, they're from Vallejo. They're 80s. A lot of funky songs, man. A lot of funky songs.
I know who Confunction is. No question. How about the Sugar Hill Gang?
I like Public Enemy. Public Enemy was.
I didn't ask
to lift.
I didn't ask you that. I said
to lift to go some Public Enemy.
We'll go to that. We'll do that next time.
Roxanne.
Don't push me. I'm close to the edge. Let's go.
All right, T-Sis, give him your social media, baby.
Social media, One Young Terry on the X and the Gram.
Dooman says audio slave. Coaches. Coaches.
Coaches.
Yeah.
Love it.
Rasheen, give it to him.
I'm not hard to find. Rasheen Hill, Facebook. Easy. Come get me. You looking for
at Coach Noob. But listen, I want you all to watch for something this week. Watch the shady calls from the refs and then see how that shit affects the games. We didn't get to talk about it. We're talking about it next week. Watch it because there's something to it. I'm telling you, I'm starting to get really paranoid about this stuff.
Are we back to their fixing the games? Are we back?
Hey, connect with us here on the Original Sports Podcast with Mark Maradei and a Barbershop crew by checking out our pod page at podpage.com. Original Sports Podcast with Mark Maradei. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, and you can watch every one of our episodes on YouTube. Hey, I want to give a shout out again to our networks that we're on, Let's Talk Sports and Sideline Sports. We are very honored to have been picked up by Sideline Sports. Love those guys, JP and the boys. We're looking forward to working with you and some big things coming up in the future for us working with those networks. We're going to be wrapping up season 4 probably in about a month. And when we come back, we're going to have some new music for you. We're going to have some different things going on. Don't forget to email us if you have any questions, comments, concerns, potential guest for the show at originalsportspodcast@gmail.com. Shout out to Sean Ankoviak for doing our voice intro. Charlie Hodgson will be writing the new music. He's got this one rolling. He'll have the new one. My wife who does the webpage. Don't forget to join us next week on the Original Sports Podcast to experience the O. And by the way, programming note, we'll be on at 8:30 next Tuesday. Maradei has a bocce match, so we got to roll. Hey, thanks for joining us, everybody. See you next week.
Roll them balls.
What was that, dude?